Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Happy New Year, and I hope you all have had a very safe and happy holiday. I know it's been a while since I posted my last video on YouTube, but as part of my New Year's resolution, I wanted to post more videos to YouTube as well as to my Instagram page. So today, I actually wanted to go over a video that I've been wanting to make for quite some time, which is to showcase my Pokemon Topsun collection. Now, for those of you who don't follow me on YouTube or on Instagram, the Pokemon Topsun collection is one of my Grail sets. It's a set that I've been trying to complete for quite some time, a little over a year now, and it's a set that I just find very, in terms of its history, very appealing, and in terms of its artwork, I find generally satisfying. So sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy the video. But to get started, I'll go over my set and also talk about the history of the Topsun set, or in this case, my limited history, being that I don't want to mislead anyone out there regarding the history behind it. So I'll try to do my best, and if you find any errors, or if you may perhaps know more information than I do, please feel free to comment, as I'm always willing to learn. So with that being said, I'll just go over my collection, starting with this stack here. So actually, let me just pull these a little bit out. So as you can see, the Topsun set, as a bit of a background, were a set of cards that were first released by Pokemon. Some had said that they were released back in 1995. As you can see, actually let's get a closer look. By the date stamp right here, 1995, Nintendo, Creatures Inc., Game Freak. Whereas others just have stated that the 1995 is in reference to the copyright by Pokemon. And these cards were actually released in 1997. So I've done a bit of research online, and I can't really find sort of a consensus on that. So I don't want to mislead you, and I'll just leave it at that. But these were supposedly some of the earliest Pokemon cards to have ever existed within the TCG of Pokemon, within its hobby. Now, another key difference is, let me see if I can find one. Oh, yes I can. So another key difference is there are 3 versions of Topsun. Within each booster pack, there were 2 cards that were released and a stick of bubblegum. So they're essentially a bubblegum booster pack. So 2 cards, so it could be a Bulbasaur or a Charizard. And then within that, after so many odd packs, I think it was around, correct me if I'm wrong, around 10 packs through a booster box or 20 packs through a booster box, you would be able to get a Prism Holo Rare, which I'll go over later on. So within each booster pack, to sum it all up, there are 2 cards and 1 bubblegum stick. Unfortunately, I don't have a sealed copy or a sealed pack of Topsun. Those are incredibly hard to find, and they're also extremely expensive. They were going around, I think earlier this year, around $300. Now you can't even find one for less than $1,000, just due to the recent Pokemon boom. So that's in terms of the pack ratio. And then in terms of the types of Topsun cards, you notice if I flip this over, this is a blue back. So you can see, obviously, blue. Now, for the Pokemon Topsun set, within the 150 cards, so 150 Pokemon, they don't have Mew in this set. It only goes to Mewtwo. What you'll have is the blue backs, then you'll have a blue back with no number. So this is obviously a blue back with a number. This is a blue back with a no number. And I think I have 1 card in my collection that has a no number, and I'll show you later. But the blue backs with no numbers are considered the sort of first printing. So those are very, very hard to find. They're ultra rare. The blue backs are sort of the rare first edition, and then you have this. So this is a Charmander, but if you notice when I turn this over, this is a green back, and this is a blue back. So for each, say for example, a Bulbasaur, you will have a regular blue back with a number. Then the next type would be a blue back with no number, so that 001 would not exist. And then you'd also have a Bulbasaur with a green back. Greenbacks are supposedly, in theory, the later printing of the Pokemon Topsun set. And the story goes, I saw a video by Unlisted Leaf, and he stated that it was very hard to sell the Pokemon cards, so they would entice people with a stick of gum. And that's why they were inserted with bubblegum packs. I'm not sure if that is true, just because I didn't live in Japan back in the mid-90s. But if it is true, that'd be a really cool story. Now, I don't know if I'm missing anything. We'll get to it later on. But for now, just know that there's a blue back, no number, a regular blue back with a number, and then, as you can see with Charmander, a green back. So I'll go through my set right now. So I'll put those face down. So as you can see, I put all these in top loaders. I won't take out any of them right now unless it's warranted, but these cards are very, very old. Most of the time I've been purchasing these cards from vendors in Japan, and the reason why I collect these cards is, when I try to collect something, I try to collect something with significance. Will it stand the test of time? Do I like it? Is the artwork appealing? And when I first heard about this set, the one thing that stood out to me was that it was one of the first Pokemon sets released. You can only get them through bubblegum packs, and I feel like completing a set is more difficult than completing, say, an English base set of Pokemon, just because you can only get 2 of these cards within a pack of cards. And the fact that not many people were collecting Pokemon cards when it first came out, similar to these, and to find them in good condition, it makes it that much harder. So here, and I'll try to flip over when I can, but I have a Charmander, green back, and I think the rest are blue. So green back, Charmeleon. Another thing was just the art. Like, I love the art. I'm assuming all of these were done by Ken Sugimori, but luckily they don't have the artist name on there. So this is another blue back. I'll just indicate whether or not it's a blue back based on memory. I think I know which ones are which. Let's see. This is a Blastoise blue back. Yep. Caterpie. And just to note, this is not a complete set. There are some that are missing. I do not have a complete set of Topsun Blue. I'm trying to complete it this year, and I am over, I think, more than 70%, more than 80% done with the blue back set. Obviously, there's a green back set, which is all 150 Pokemon. There's no Mew, and then there's also the no number set, which is, I'm trying to consider that a separate set. And also there's a Hollow Prism set, which I'll get to later on. So this is Butterfree. Oh, I think, wow, okay. So this, alright, I'll get to these in a later video, but yeah, don't worry about these. Those are, for those of you who are interested, these are Pokemon Tommy Scratch cards, and I forgot I kept this in the same as Topsun. But yeah, I'll get to these in a later video, but this is a Bulbasaur. So let's see, where was I? 15, 12. Alright, let's get to this stack. Beedrill, Pidgeotto, another Pidgeotto, Pidgeot, Spearow, Arbok, another Arbok. So that one was a green one, as you can see. So this must be the blue. Yep. Raichu. Sandslash. I love how the art is, you know, taking up most of the card. Obviously, you know, with the full arts for the modern Pokemon sets, but you can tell, like, especially since it's just the watercolor, and you know, this is probably the best. This is the set, the region Pokemon that everybody grew up with, or most people, the Kanto region. Then you have Nidoran, female. Nidorina. Nidoqueen. Nidoran, the male. Nidoking. Clefable. Let's go here. You have a Vulpix. So, a bit of a backstory. Most of the cards that I purchased for Topsun, I purchased sometimes in bulk collections or lots. Not all these, obviously they're in top loaders right now, but not all of these are in the greatest condition. And that's to be expected, just because of how hard these cards were to obtain and how old they are. So if they have little nicks and dings here and there, I'm fine. You know, there's unfortunately some collections that I purchased that the seller didn't disclose that the cards were traced over or the cards were taped. They have like scotch tape on them, and I've had to send those back. But it just goes to show you that the older the cards are, in my opinion, even PSA 6s are fine. You know, you see that even with vintage baseball cards, you know, even the gum packs, if it's old, but if you buy the card and not the grade, you know, and also if you just generally like the card in the set, you know, go with it. You know, the value's there if you see fit. So Vulpix, Ninetales, Zubat, Golbat, Gloom, Vileplume, Parasect, my favorite, Psyduck, oh, that is blue, Primate, Growlithe, and let me show you real quick what I mean by this. I think I went over this card in a previous video, but it's funny because right before I started filming, I got a notification from eBay for the post office that one of my cards, Growlithe, had come in because I wanted to get a better version. But you can see here, like, this is what you need to watch out for, because sometimes the owners, they will take a picture of the card in a different light, so where it's like maybe like this and maybe like that, so it's a little bit more hidden. But you can see that obviously somebody traced over it with, like, I don't know, they take a butter knife to it. So yeah, I love the art though, Growlithe, and I wanted to keep it just because they had sold me some other stuff, like a bulk, a lot of old Japanese cards. So why not cross it off my list? But actually the mint version just came in the mail today, so I'll have to go through my post box right after this. So yeah, the Arcanine, and the same thing here, like you can see through the top loader. Poliwag, Poliwhirl, Poliwrath. Wow, I'm so old that I'm even sometimes hoping I don't forget the the names of the Pokemon, or maybe it's just a long day. Abra, Kadabra, two Kadabras, both blue. Gym owner Sabrina, who is my favorite gym trainer. Let's see, take the other stack out. And since this stack is getting pretty big, I'll move this to the side. So as you can see, I have doubles for quite a few, just because if I find a collection or a lot and I notice that the majority of it is cards that I do not have, I'll just go ahead and make the purchase. And I don't mind having doubles of the same. I don't want to parse it out. And I think like over time, once I complete the set, if I find a good deal, I'll start to collect multiples of it. But right now I'm just trying to complete the regular non-Prism, non-error card, which is the hardest to get, sets. So Alakazam, wow, another Alakazam, Bellsprout, Geodude, Graveler, Golem, Ponyta. I think this is the greenback. Grimer. Oh, no. This one is. Grimer. Muck. Shelter. Turn on the light real quick. Cloyster. Still too much light. Another Cloyster. Haunter. One of my favorite episodes is when Ash, he becomes a ghost and he's trying to fight Sabrina. That story had so many elements to it. It's one of my favorite Pokemon episodes. Let's see, let's get the others out. We have Gengar, Onyx, Drowsy. I believe Psyduck, that was the episode where Misty got Psyduck, is when all the kids were missing. And Drowsy was like, supposedly he was like making adults fall asleep or helping them fall asleep in the city. And so all the kids were missing. And then they just realized that the Psyduck was acting weird because that's how it usually acts. I always thought that was funny. So, interesting backstory. Drowsy. Kingler. Where is this Krabby? Kingler. Has to be Kingler. Executor. Cubone. Marowak. Hitmonlee. Another Hitmonlee. Must have bought this in a set. Hitmonchan. Lickitung. Rhydon. Horsey. Starmie. Another Starmie. Electabuzz. Pinsir. Tauros. Lapras. Move these to the side. Now, the reason why I've made it a priority to collect the full set is, I started back late last year collecting before the whole boom in sports cards slash, Pokemon cards as well, with the Logan Paul effect and the recent rise in that. But it's just the art, and also since the prices for these have seemed to rise along with every other vintage Pokemon card there is, I'm just trying to beat the rise in prices, so I don't have to pay like an inflated price, not knowing how the future will lie for 2021. Hope it's better, knock on wood, but that's the goal right now. So I've mainly focused on this set as well as others, but this is the priority. So you have Vaporeon, Jolteon, you have Flareon, you have the legendary birds, Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, Dratini, Dragonair, Dragonite. Case in point, so this Dragonite, I think I paid around $35 for after I won it in an auction. At the beginning of the year, I think I remember I started out just collecting the graded items, and then I focused to raw. But I remember this Dragonite was around $9. So obviously you can tell there's a big jump in price. I get it. With the current market in Pokemon, everybody's trying to get in there. Whether or not it's for collecting or for value, I'm not sure. But it just goes to show you the dramatic rise in prices of all Pokemon products. Specifically when this set and within graded cards within this set. So I'll go over it later on, but actually, let me just get these out of the way. Put the Dragonite right here and move it to the side. So next up, I wanted to go over some of my graded card collection. The graded card collection, I've actually been purchasing these over the past year and so on months. And the original intent was to get as many graded cards as I could in PSA 10. But when prices skyrocketed this past summer, I realized that isn't really a realistic goal anymore. And that's the thing with collecting, you have to sometimes adapt to the changing market. So I just decided, hey, anything that's graded, which is at a decent price, I'll take. And it's the same thing with vintage baseball. The oldest, rarest cards, they're not going to be in the greatest condition. You're not going to find, so many odd PSA 10 Mickey Mantles. You're not going to find thousands of them. Where you're not going to find thousands of Babe Ruths, So any grade, I'm fine with that. So to begin, let me just see. I got this cardboard here, and I'll put that in front of the stack. So let's see. First one up is, perfect example. So let me move this to the side. So this is a no number. As I said before, originally there's a number here for the Bulbasaur I used an example in the beginning, and you notice it is also a blue back. So this is what is that? I think it's just the sleeve. So this is a blue back, no number Machoke. Yeah, I saw this recently and I had to snag it just because I thought it was a good deal. And also it's a no number, so it's extremely rare. Remember, no number blue backs are considered the first print. Second is blue backs, which are almost just as rare. And then the last printing is the green backs. So that's in theory. Put this to the side. Let's take out the next card. So I don't know if I think I have these just in order, but I don't know whether or not these are a mixture of blue, green, and Prism. So we'll get it when we find out. So next one is the Venusaur. This is the first graded blue back that I've ever purchased. I remember paying around $70 for it, and yeah, I'm never selling this. I love the art, and yeah, this is the blue back. Let's go ahead. PSA 9, Charmeleon, PSA 8 blue back. I think I showed you before I had a Charmeleon in blue back as well, raw. So I feel fortunate enough to have it in graded. Next one, I think I know which one this is. The King of Kings, Charizard in a greenback, PSA 9. So I believe I won this in an auction, but it's a greenback. I'm fine with it because the PSA 9 and the blue back is extremely expensive. I remember when it was much cheaper. I should have bought it then, but Captain Hindsight is 2020. So PSA 9 Charizard greenback. What's next? I believe it's the Squirtle blueback PSA 9. I love this art. The art is just right there, watercolor. I think it brings back memories of vintage cards. When Pokemon first started out, that artwork was amazing. No offense to the modern day artwork, I love modern day artwork as well, but just the nostalgia of seeing the watercolor for painting Pokemon. So blue back, and the blue back War Turtle, PSA 9 as well. Yeah, the original goal was to get all of these graded, but it's very hard to do so now. Blastoise, PSA 9 blue back. Is that the same art they used for the Hollow base set? Huh. I'll have to check again. Put that to the side. The Pikachu blue back. This is very hard to get as well. All of these, surprisingly, are very low pops. Well, actually, not surprisingly. They are very low pops on the PSA population report. I think there's none. I think there's around like, is it 10 or less than 10 higher than a PSA 9 Pikachu blue back? That just goes to show you when you talk about the ratios, if you get within one pack, you know, 2 cards, and say for example it's the blue back, if you get 2 cards and a bubblegum stick, you have what, 150 Pokemon that you're able to get. So to get all the Pokemon, you know, you need to get like so many odd booster packs, and it's hard to do because it's very hard to, number one, find those booster packs, and then number two, you're bound to get doubles if you open up multiple packs. So just completing a set, I think, is very tough statistically. And also the fact that you have the blue backs, the blue back, oh, tongue twister, the blue back no numbers, and also the prisms, those are especially tough. So it to me, also, besides the artwork, it presented a challenge in terms of collecting, and then the history behind it, I just liked. This Pikachu blue back. What is this one? Oh, Pikachu Psyduck. Yes, the blue back Psyduck. This side. Then you have the blue back Golduck, PSA 9. Then you have a blue back Abra. Blue back Kadabra. So as you can see, I have raw and graded cards of this evolutionary chain. And you have blue back Alakazam, PSA 9. Blue back Geodude, PSA 9. PSA 9 Kangaskhan. Very hard to beat this art. I think in terms of art, the Gym series as well as the VS series, which hopefully I'll talk about in a later video. Those are, you know, the arts that I favor the most. You have Mr. Mime in a blue back. Then you have Magmar, PSA 10. These are some of the few PSA 10s I have. Blue back. You have Magikarp, blue back. And you have the dragon. Is it a dragon? Gyarados. Takes me back to the Johto region, which you encounter the Shining Gyarados. Oh man, that was such a great game. I don't know why, I stopped playing Pokemon around the Emerald version and then picked up again shortly after. I mean, I should have just stuck with it, but yeah, I loved playing Johto. And just seeing this, like, it brings back so many good memories of this picture, not specifically this card. I didn't have this card back then. So I can see in the next we have some hollows, but let me just go over the raws real quick. The regular set. We have Aerodactyl, blue back. Stock's getting pretty high. Then we have Snorlax, PSA 10. There we go. Yeah, any PSA 10 blueback, no number error blueback, as well as a Prism or holofoil. If you get a PSA 10 in that, those are extremely rare and very coveted. So I'm fortunate enough to have this card in PSA 10 as well as the others in the stack over there, as well as PSA 9, PSA 8s, PSA 7s, 6s for the blues specifically, and for the holofoils. Those are very, very hard to come by and very expensive as of this video. So let me see if I have any more regular cards. Oh, here's another one. One of my favorites, Mewtwo. PSA 8. Blue back. Alright, so I think that was it for the regular blue set. So just to recap, I'm trying to collect a complete blue back set of the Pokemon Topsun sets. So just to recap, within the Topsun set there are blue backs with no numbers, green backs, and then the prisms. And the prisms I'll get to right now. So to start off, I'll go over my ungraded prisms. So here's the first one. You have Moltres, and just look at that. If, and I'm not speaking from, a position of expertise, but if this was indeed the first Pokemon set to ever be printed, then it would make these cards the first ever holofoils to ever exist within the Pokemon. And I think the Pokemon TCG. And I think that for me also ties into the importance and why I collect it, just to have a piece of history. It's pretty cool in my opinion. So the Moltres, Prism, and you can see like they have different Pokemon silhouettes. I think that's a Pikachu, Mankey, Mewtwo. Oh. And then on the back you have the different stats. So I think it's similar to the front of this. I can't read Japanese, but I'm assuming that's like weight, that's height. 2 meters for a Moltres. Is that accurate? 2 meters? That's how tall it is? Because I'm pretty sure it's bigger than that. Huh, 2 meters. Maybe I don't know the metric system as well as I think. So next one, Zapdos. So when you take these out, and unfortunately I'm not going to take it out right now, but these cards are very paper thin. So to get and to re-add to the point, if you were able to get a PSA 9 and above and a holofoil, that's extremely rare, and you consider yourself lucky. Just because of how easy it is to, I open up a bubblegum pack, throw it out into the corner, gathers dust, gathers mud, whatever. You don't hear from it for 25 years, and all of a sudden now they're worth something. And for the cost of the booster pack, I think I read it was around like 50 yen, which is around like, I don't know, less than $1 or $1 back then in mid-90s. It's just amazing how far the hobby's come. So I only have 2 of the 3 bird trios. Still looking for the Articuno. Next up, I have Vaporeon. I think they're around like 18 or 20 prisms. So I'll get to it later on, but I think I already have around a 1/4 of that. So this is Vaporeon. This is Nidoking. So here are the graded cards. So first up is the Dragonite holofoil PSA 9. beauty. And then I have another one. Actually, just show them in 2 pieces. So I have the Dragonite Holo Foil PSA 4 and an Eevee Holo Foil PSA 3. I actually bought these in a lot. They were an incredibly good deal. The reason why I bought them was because, number one, I just want to cross them off my list, regardless of grade, but also the fact that, you know, when you think about it, and I said it before in the video, if something is that extremely old and rare, of course it's going to be, you know, damaged, or there's going to be crease marks, or it's not going to be mint. And you want to buy the card and not the grade, you know. I know there's a lot of conversation regarding grading. Is it PSA 9, PSA 10? But when you come across the factors that, you know, these are hard to get, I think it's like every one booster box or 2 booster boxes. I don't know. I've never opened a pack. But the fact that they're hard to get, and it's hard to get in good condition, I felt that it was definitely worth the buy. So release this side, and for that, I think that is the entirety of my Pokemon Topsun collection so far. I'll probably give an update once I get closer to reaching the end. But on that note, I want to thank you all again for watching this video. As I said before in the last video, to that one person who watches this video, thank you so much. I hope to plan to post more videos in the future. And if you haven't already, please follow my Instagram at noscotchtape. That is noscotchtape, one word. It's also down below in the video description. Thank you again, and I wish you all a very safe start to your new year. So have a good one, and see y'all next time.